After nearly upsetting 25th-ranked Minnesota Duluth on the road last weekend, Upper Iowa is back at home Saturday for a battle against top-ranked Minnesota State-Mankato. Upper Iowa play-by-play voice Joe Stasi is joining me right now. And Joe, before we talk about the number one ranked team in the country, recap last week's game. A close loss for Upper Iowa. It sounds like, though, they played pretty well, especially in the second half.
Hey, again, Elwin, thanks for giving us some time. Upper Iowa being the only NCAA Division II program in the state. Everybody in the athletic department and on campus certainly appreciate your work. We went up there 3-0. University of Minnesota Duluth had 2 losses on the season. Very rare for them to have 2 losses this early in the season. They did, however, come to the number one team in the country, Minnesota State, by the score of 20-17, and then they also lost to the 7th-ranked team in the country in University of Sioux Falls. So 2 losses to 2 quality opponents. In between there, they beat Wayne State. We went up there with some swagger. We knew that this is a program that Tom Shea and his staff have developed where they can go up and play against the best and stay in the ball game. You know, it was a really spooky situation up there off of Lake Superior. A lot of the fans out there that might be listening in can remember a while back in the NFL, I believe it was a playoff game in Chicago, Philadelphia and Chicago. You couldn't see the field because of the fog off of Lake Michigan. Well, it was the same thing this past Saturday, about mid-afternoon, when Zach Carlisle and I were driving into Duluth. My broadcast partner, Zach Carlisle, said, there must be a forest fire. I just kind of looked and laughed at him. I said, well, we are coming into Lake Superior, and we couldn't see in front of us. There were flares on the side of the roads at the exits, so you could see the exits. There was highway patrol out. It was just absolutely horrible to call a football game. You couldn't see the field from the press box. I do bring my binoculars at every broadcast, and so you just kind of had to follow the line of scrimmage and follow the line judge, and every now and then you got a glimpse of the football. But Upper Iowa got off to a slow start offensively. They were down 18-0, and then in the second half, exploded for 24 points, outscored the Duluth Bulldogs 24-10 in the second half. Brady Bushel kicked a 30-yard field goal to make it 18-3, and then Jared Edmonds connected from Dimitri Morales, connected on a 34-yard touchdown pass and made it 18-10. UMD then kicked another field goal with 12:48 left to go in the football game, took a 21-10 lead, and then it was Derek Portis, this young man for Upper Iowa who's found the starting lineup. Derek Portis is a 5'9", 165-pound freshman out of Lompoc, California, and he busted loose for 45 yards, a 9-play, 78-yard drive. Upper Iowa, after the 2-point conversion failed, were down 21-16, and then Upper Iowa forced a fumble, and was Zach Rees out of Iowa City, forced a fumble. We fell on it. 4 plays, 62 yards later, again, it was Derek Portis, 33-yard touchdown run. Upper Iowa took the lead with 6 minutes left to go, 24-21 over a team that was 51-1 versus NSIC opponents on Molosky Stadium up there in Duluth. And then with 3:39 left to go in the game, UMD took 6 plays, 66 yards. They regained the lead 28-24. And Upper Iowa then took over deep in their own territory. I believe it was around the 20-yard line. They drove the football 2-3 first downs and had it just inside Duluth territory with under a minute to play. Faced 4th and 2, and UMD threw a run blitz on Upper Iowa, ran it up the middle, and stuffed Upper Iowa in any chance for a major upset in NCAA Division II. But so proud of what Upper Iowa has done and what Tom Shea has done with this program. You know, you're talking about a school that has 12,000 students. Upper Iowa has 1,000. And to go and compete at the very top level in the NCAA Division II is almost unbelievable. If you would have asked me that in 2003, if we had ever got to this point as a football program, I would have said no. We wouldn't, but we have, and we are, and thank goodness, because we welcome in the number one team in the country at Harms-Eichach Stadium.
Yeah, the Peacocks get to prove themselves again here in a game that will feature 2 teams with a combined record of 7-1 this season, and it's also a matchup of 2 teams that boast 2 of the best defenses statistically in all of NCAA Division II.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Upper Iowa's defense is incredible. Coming into this game, they had only allowed 2 touchdowns. Minnesota State is in the top 3 in NCAA Division II. They give up 7 points a contest. Very big, very physical, very deep at all positions. It's been a program that has had a lot of tradition for a lot of years. And then Upper Iowa is very close behind. Upper Iowa doesn't have the luxury of being as deep at all positions, so we hope we stay healthy. And Upper Iowa's given up only 12 points a contest, and we are deep on the defensive line with the likes of Javel Rollins, he's an All-American, Zach Reeves from Iowa City, Dakota Baston from Cascade, Iowa, Cole Stevens at our linebacker position, Alex Wall, an All-American linebacker for us, Nate Romer, another kid on the defensive line for us. So if we can hold Minnesota State in their rushing attack, they had three running backs last week against Minnesota Crookston, rushed for over 100 yards. So if our defense can hold Minnesota State to under 21 points or 24 points, I think it'll be a good football game.
One of the keys in this game, Joe, in looking at this matchup head-to-head, maybe at third downs, these are two teams that their percentages are really off the charts. Minnesota State-Mankato is holding their opponents to just 23rd percent on third down conversion ratio, where Upper Iowa is just under 25%. It looks like that may be one of the biggest keys in this game on Saturday.
Yeah, moving the football. Possession downs are always key to any football game, and hopefully Upper Iowa can hold suit and continue with that. And it's going to be very hard to move the football on third downs against in Minnesota State. And another impressive stat that Upper Iowa has going for them this year: Dimitri Morales, that quarterback, has not thrown an interception. His numbers are outstanding. He can run the ball. He can pass the ball. He's a dynamic player and just makes people miss. And so we hopefully he's on his game. But yeah, plus 8 turnover margin. Upper Iowa has only lost 1 turnover. They fumbled 5 times and lost 1 of them. So no interceptions, only 1 fumble. Upper Iowa stays with that theme and continue to attack the football and bend and don't break. I think it can be another competitive football game. The way I look at it from a broadcaster's perspective, an alumni perspective, a former Upper Iowa Peacock football player myself, I look at it this way. Either Upper Iowa has arrived at a national level at NCAA Division II, or the University of Minnesota Duluth program is down a little bit. And I don't think so, because they played Minnesota State again to a 20-17 loss. So this could be the first time Upper Iowa competes against Minnesota State. We're 0-9 against Minnesota State, and we have not competed against this squad. I think we're averaging 9 points a contest versus Minnesota State, and it should be a good one. Folks, I got to tell you what, if you're looking for a great evening of entertainment, it's Ag Appreciation Day, Upper Iowa baseball reunion. They're going to celebrate the 1996 team that went on to the NCAA Division III World Series. Rick Heller, Mark Danker, of course, the coaches at that time. Mark Danker, still the head coach at Upper Iowa, but Rick Heller, the Iowa Hawkeye coach, is going to be back, and he'll be in attendance, and hopefully he'll be up at halftime to talk with us a little bit. But if you want to see the best NCAA Division II team in the United States of America, that's right in your backyard this Saturday night at Harms Eichscheid Stadium. If you haven't been up to see this $7.5 million facility, what a great time to do so. $10 for adults, only $5 for children, and if you're 5 and under, it's free. It's going to be a perfect weather night for football under the lights at Harms Eichscheid Stadium, 6 o'clock this Saturday night. Minnesota State University going to be in town. It's going to be fun.
And hopefully no fog this week for this game.
That was unbelievable. And Elwin, when you're calling a football game and you can't see it, you're just handcuffed. And I tell you what, it was something else. I've never seen anything like it live, and I hope I never do again.
Upper Iowa hosting top-ranked Minnesota State-Mankato. The game is at 6 o'clock. If you can't make it to Harms Eichscheid Stadium in Fayette on Saturday, you can tune in to AM 950 KOEL. Joe Stasi will have all the play-by-play coverage, starting with pregame at 5:30 p.m. Joe, thanks again for your time. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, Elwin.